Hi and welcome back to the channel. So I'm sitting in my crane today. There's like nothing going on for me because we've done all the form work we can. There were some issues with some dowels, which are the pieces of rebar coming out of the concrete. They had to drill some holes and epoxy some new stuff in there and then tie that rebar, so we're at a standstill as far as form work is going. But there's a concrete pour. It was supposed to start a couple hours ago and it got delayed, which is not unusual. That does happen. So we're going to have a concrete pump in front of me with the trucks backing in and all that good stuff. So I'm thinking it's a good time for me to set up a time lapse, and we'll show you what goes on with a concrete pump with some time lapse. So I'm going to let it run for about an hour or so. You can see them like placing the concrete in this wall here, and they've got, it's called Simon forms. I believe that's spelled S-Y-M-O-N. Simon is a brand, and so these Simon forms are they're not like the big forms that you may have seen in one of my previous videos, the gang form. These are smaller, and the guys actually pick them up and set them by hand. So anyway, I'm going to get the time lapse going on, and we'll see what kind of footage we can come up with. So just stand by. So here's a wall that we had poured previously the other day. There's the elevator core. They poured that yesterday. Here's our pump, and there is a truck backed up there, so we're getting ready to go. My crane hook is right there. It's out of the way. Here's the wall with the Simon forms. So I'm thinking on the top of my crane here, I might set up the video there. This is the crane back here, so I'll kind of give you an idea, but either up here or down below, I'll set the camera up and we'll get a wide shot kind of like that of the time lapse going on. Before that, I'm going to just take a little tour over here around the pump and stuff like that, and the truck, just to give you a little bit more information about the process and what's going on. And we'll be heading back over here and doing a quick shot. Stuff coming out here, the guy's actually priming the pump. You got to get some material in there to get the pump working properly. So he's priming the pump over here. Then we'll come in with a forklift and take that shit away when it dries. All right, so I'm filming a video of this guy filming a video of me too. He's photobombing us. It's one of our laborers. So what's going on here? We got all kinds of action. So in a previous video, I explained how that's a hopper, and you put sand and aggregate and water and cement in there, you mix it up, and that's how you get concrete. And then you drive it to the job site, and that little tank right there has got water in it. You can add water if you need to, and also use that for cleanup. And then this hopper back here, and that chute is feeding the pump, and there's our pump operator. So we're gonna pump some concrete, and let's roll with it, and I'll give a narration there towards the end. So I wasn't expecting this. I forgot we have this little spot here. We had to go back in and fill that in. So he's pumping that first. Operators here. He's talking with the truck driver, and this is the pump and the chute. So the concrete goes in the pump, comes out up there. It's kind of like a corkscrew, makes it come out, and then it goes through the pipe right here into the pump, up and over there. And here's our operator. Shot of these guys. Right on, looking good. The guys making it happen. They got a vibrator to get the concrete to vibrate down to the bottom, so we don't have any air pockets in it. So this time lapse will show the concrete being placed. They're going back and forth because they're doing a lower level, and then the higher level will be done after the concrete sets up a little bit, so it doesn't push it out. So in the second here, we have the forklift comes in, and he grabs a deadman right there, and that's because he's on the backside. We almost had a blowout here, so there was a piece missing. share this. If not, I'll have to do a voiceover. So we had an issue where the concrete forms they're bowed out at the bottom, and that's because I don't know, sometimes where it's nailed up at the bottom, it can put it to you this way, the concrete has a lot of weight, and the force of it in that form, what has happened is it actually pushed the bottom out. The guys are on the back. You can see the lull there. The lull brought a deadman over, and that deadman was used to put in some braces, and he's actually holding the deadman, because as they try and put the brace on there and use the screw jack, it's pushing the deadman. So foreman's over there waving for me. I just kind of stalled here. We got a couple guys working over there. I just want to make sure before I commit to the swing they know what's going on, and then I'll walk under the load and shit like that. So I'm bringing another deadman because they need a second deadman to try and get this thing shored up. Looks about good on the swing. Just booming down and holding the load across this wall there. The radius is going to be pretty far out there. I'm thinking I'm going to be at over 50% capacity. We may be hitting like closer to 75% capacity on this here. So you may hear the first alarm go off when I do this. It's just it goes from a green light to a yellow light, just to let you know you're getting close to the limit. So I'm good for 5,000, and I got 3,000 on the hook right there. Good for 4,800, and I'm gonna start slowly kind of coming out of this here. Go easy, go a lot slower, booming down and holding the load, but I'm not going to give him the whole thing. Okay, looks like the boom's good. He needs a little, there's a little bit of the, when I came out of the boom, you can hear the yellow, so that's a little bit of like a yellow warning light, which is not a big deal. We're still okay in our capacity, and I'm not going to boom down any further. What happened was there was a dynamic load. When I stopped the boom, the load would bounce a little bit. So I'm good for 4,500 pounds, and we got 3,000 on the hook. So we still got capacity, and there we go. It landed. The alarm stopped. So help these guys out to try and keep this pour going. You don't ever want to have to stop in a pour because you'll have to chip all the stuff. So, all right, he's giving me the cable up and a thumbs up. So I'm pulling my hook out of there, and I'm booming it back up, and I'm getting out of the way of the pump so he can get back in here. Okay, I'm back here on the back side with this deadman and that deadman. This second deadman is the one that I flew in there.
It's not even going to be pretty, buddy.
And so we had to shore this up. This is where the forms were pushing out from the pressure of the concrete. And so we put this first deadman in here, and as we used the turnbuckles to apply pressure, the deadman was actually sliding backwards. So we used the lull to hold it in place. And then, so the lull was unable to get the second deadman. That's the one I grabbed and flew over here. So what's going on too with this wall is you have to kind of pour it slowly, because you got the lower level and then the upper level. So you vibrate the concrete down into the lower level. And it's got to kind of set up a little bit before going up, because the pressure can actually cause this to come up and over the edge. So everything is good. It should set up fine. That was just a technical glitch, and that's why you have a crane on site, because the crane saved the day in that instance right there. So we'll go shoot some more time lapse because we moved the pump and the trucks, and I'm not going to waste too much time with this because it's Friday and I want to go home. Just a little quick video. Got the crane buttoned up for the weekend, and Back here we got some more pump action going on. Let's go to some time lapse. So this time lapse turned out pretty good. You can kind of see the pump moving there. Like I said, this is Friday afternoon with the delays and everything. It kind of drug on, but shot this little bit here and loaded up the equipment and got out of town and went back home to enjoy the weekend. I love the way the clouds are just flying over there and the crane in the background. Thanks for watching. Y'all be safe. Catch you next time.